Frank Turek professes to know that Christianity is true. Not believe, not have faith, but know. Why do I get the feeling that Frank has no idea what knowledge is? Let's find out. I don't know if this is the same debate, but Frank Turek and Michael Shermer had a debate on August 24th, 2018, and I have a feeling this is where Frank gets all of this footage. Now, I haven't watched the debate, so I can't be certain, because watching debates between the religious and the non-religious is always cringeworthy on the part of the theists, because they don't know what they're doing, and Frank Turek is no different. So let's see how Frank justifies his claim that he knows Christianity is true, and why, as is no surprise, he's just wrong as usual.
The thing that's curious to me about religion is that you get this sort of smattering. This is our afterlife, and this is the afterlife. No, this is the afterlife. Well, which is the right one? Well, they're all true, or
they're not all true. Nobody's going to say that.
Or they're not all true. But what's your standard of objective standards? Say, well, we know that's the right one because, look, I can point to it. And when you point to it, why don't the Muslims go, oh, yeah.
Because it's not a process of chemistry. You'd have to be an atheist to believe in the process of chemistry that gives you all your thoughts. We don't.
Frank, you truly are an idiot. This is like the stupidity of the flat earthers. You'd have to be an atheist to believe the earth is a globe. Do you listen to yourself, or are you really that stupid?
There's a free will involved. In fact, the way I show that Christianity is true, I go through the evidence that truth exists, God exists, miracles are possible, and the New Testament documents are telling us the truth about the resurrection.
Every single one of those I've debunked in the past. Now, you'll notice that Frank isn't actually addressing Michael Shermer's question. He's just rationalizing. He's putting a spin on things so his beliefs don't look so ridiculous, at least to the people on his side. But you know something? Muslims could do the same thing, constructing a bald rationalization for why their myths are true, and therefore their myths are true. And Hindus could do the same thing. So could every religion. So could Scientologists. They could all say, I believe because of this, and since your reasons are not set up for discussion or debate, you think you've automatically won. Except your reasons are dumb.
Because if Jesus rose from the dead, then whatever he teaches is true because he's God.
That does not follow. I guess that means that everything Loki said was true too, because he was a god. Never mind that Loki is a trickster god and doesn't tell the truth. Frank says gods tell the truth, so there. And let's be honest. First, he hasn't proven that Jesus rose from the dead, so the entire claim gets tossed out right there. Believing it isn't the same as proving it. Secondly, the Bible says Lazarus rose from the dead too. Is he now God? Or does it only work with Jesus because Frank wants to believe that? Come on, this is just stupid.
So I just have a personal policy. If somebody rises from the dead, I just believe whatever they say.
Your personal policy is dumb, especially since you can't prove that any of it happened in the first place. We can go look at every single person that supposedly rose from the dead around the world. Does that mean Frank automatically believes all of those people? Because there are tons of people who have died, been buried, and then come back to life. It happens all the time in the operating room today. I guess that means there are lots of gods running around, and according to Frank, every word they all speak is gospel truth. But, you know, Frank is a hypocrite, so I'm sure he won't go along with that.
Okay? Now.
Okay, now. Who edits these things? I've mentioned before how many apologetics videos just cut off in the middle of a sentence. How hard is it to cut out the now part and at least look semi-professional? See, look, I'll do it right now.
Somebody rises from the dead, I just believe whatever they say. Okay?
That wasn't hard, was it? It took me literally 5 seconds. I don't see non-religious videos doing it, only the religious, and I don't get it. But what I also don't get is just how dumb Frank is. Because I've already debunked his 4 reasons he believes in Christianity, which was a complete joke, but he never learns anything, so it doesn't surprise me that he's clinging to idiocy to maintain his beliefs. And none of the things he said can be proven in any way, shape, or form. He's pandering to a largely religious audience because he knows they won't hold him accountable for whatever nonsense he spouts. But that doesn't stop it from being nonsense, does it? Because he doesn't know any of the things that he claims to know. He just believes it for entirely emotional reasons. It makes him feel good, so it must be true. Of course, the fact that he can make a comfortable living at it, yeah, Frank's estimated net worth is over $1 million, so he's doing just fine for himself. He's not starving for his beliefs by any means. But his beliefs are just asinine, and his defense of those beliefs is so absurd as to be laughable. He doesn't know a damn thing. I don't think he even knows what knowledge is, which, according to the dictionary, means facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. But none of that applies to anything Frank has to say. Frank wouldn't know a fact if it bit him. He's working with wishful thinking and ad hoc rationalization because it makes him feel good to believe what he believes, therefore it has to be true. Because if it's not true, he would stop being emotionally comforted, and he can't have that. But rational people aren't concerned with feelings. We're concerned with whether or not a proposition is factually correct in the real world, emotions be damned. And so long as that's the case, that Frank isn't within spitting distance of rationality, he will never have any knowledge about God because he isn't interested in knowledge regarding God. Because knowledge requires work and setting aside your emotions and just caring what is actually true. And Frank has no interest in that. Never has, and unfortunately, never will.